Hello, fabulous Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of July 2014, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This is a very important month where it comes to love for you. In fact, I do think a lot of Capricorns are going to be having some very powerful insights, letting go of the past in some very significant ways and looking at their present with fresh eyes, a fresh understanding as to who they are, how it is that they are, where they are, and where it is that they need to go next. What you do have happening this month, right in the middle of the month, is a full moon taking place in your sign. Now, full moons ordinarily, when they take place in your sign, bring matters close to the heart, to completion, to fruition, and to a close as well. If you think back to what was taking place 6 months from now, what you started 6 months ago, rather, when you think back to what you started 6 months ago, it really is a culmination of those things that initiated 6 months ago, that now you understand where and what among those things have served their purpose. But also there's an element here, and can be an element here, of rewards of the things that you put into place then. But this is the full moon after all, and we all kind of know a lot of stories around full moons. And normally full moons are associated with strong emotion. And this is particularly interesting for you this month because this particular full moon is speaking with the Cardinal Grand Cross. And I've been speaking about this in the weekly horoscopes. If you want a more thorough explanation of the Cardinal Grand Cross, please go back to my videos that I did back in April, where I really broke it down and talked about what this configuration was. But the fact that this particular full moon is speaking and activating this very important sort of generation defining configuration, but it's happening for you in your own sign. And then you add the element, though, is that this is ultimately Capricorn energy, right? Capricorn energy isn't necessarily known to be wild and let it all hang out and to be out there. And yet there's this tension, and really it's about the tension. But this moon is having so many conversations with other power players in the sky that it's almost as if you want that. And some of you are going to give in to that of really wanting to break free and break out and go a whole new way. And yet there's going to be some resistance, but I don't think that is going to last very long. And the reason I say that is because right when we have this full moon taking place, as I spoke about in the general horoscopes for your sign for this month as well, with the particular full moon taking place right around the time we do have also, we do have your ruling planet going direct. With that in itself would suggest a shift of energy. And around the same time, we also have Venus moving into your opposite sign, which is going to speak very strongly to love. And so there is this understanding of who you are, what works for you and what doesn't. And then at the same time, there is also an understanding that it isn't always all about you. However, that doesn't mean that you can't make important decisions that are based in a measure of self-knowledge. When Venus moves through your opposite sign, as she will in the second part of this month, it tends to denote that there is at least one person there. There is at least some situation there that is meant to show you just what it is that you believe in love, what it is that you believe you are worthy of where it comes to love. And because this particular Venus is also going to be speaking with the Cardinal Grand Cross, activating the Cardinal Grand Cross, it isn't just that you've got this full moon and the energy builds and it's really strong for a few days and that's it, it dissipates. But actually the lessons are going to continue throughout the month, the second half of the month. And so I find this really very intriguing because this to me suggests that some of the most important learning you're going to do is going to come in the context of love, and some of the most important changes you make, some of the most important moments of honesty that you have are going to come in the context of love. If you are in an established partnership, what I'm seeing taking place is actually your partner is doing all they can to be really, really nice. But if something's bugging you, it's bugging you, and you are going to have to find a way to resolve that. At least there's the motivation there. And I'm also going to invite you to consider not to, or at least rather, let me put it this way. It is going to be up to you to bring a higher level of consciousness to that interaction. And if you can do that, then you're going to find yourself and your partner having significant breakthroughs that help you tremendously, that help you put the past behind you, that help you strengthen the bond tremendously. But if you're not bringing an elevated level of consciousness, then it can be hurtful. And it needn't be. It really needn't be. And the only thing that's going to get in the way, the only thing that would make it hurtful is if you are not honest, if you don't resolve to absolutely be absolutely honest about yourself and what you feel, and openness with a certain bravery as well. Those of you who have somebody in your sphere, or even if you don't, I do think that this month likely suggests some activity. As I said, it looks like there is somebody there. If you're in an established bond, this whole idea of you really looking at this person a lot more clearly, looking at how maybe they provoke you and they push your buttons and what it says about you that you've attracted this person into your life. And I do think that there's going to be a more fuller picture revealed. And I say this because, again, it's these cardinal planets that are being set off, and Venus in your opposite sign as well. To me, this suggests that it really is some truth coming out, and you get to decide whether it works for you or doesn't. You get to decide if this person fits into the bigger picture of life or doesn't. And you get to decide if you are going to change in the ways that this relationship is asking you to, or if it's not worth it. Those of you who do not have anybody right now, you're open to love, you're thinking about love, this is going to be such an important month for you because it is about release. The emphasis becomes on the release of the past, release of what didn't work for you, forgiveness. All of these themes are highlighted. But again, it does look like what I'm seeing for people who don't have somebody in their spheres, there's likely to be at least one person and some sort of interaction, which shows you some of your own resentments. That's ultimately the purpose of it, to show you your own resentments, your own fears, your own blocks, your own insecurities. If you can embrace that learning, if you can think about just how it is that other people in your life are mirrors to you, showing you yourself more clearly, then you can decide really what it is that you want to express in the world more of, and if this person fits that expression or not. What is going to happen this month is you are going to get a lot more honest about your current relationship status and if it works and if it doesn't. And you are set to make some very big changes, mostly on a heart level, that certainly will move you towards greater love than you've known before. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.